Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you for finding us. I hope you are doing well. Please do subscribe. If you are not subscribed, it would be a big help. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you've been watching recently, what Blu-rays you picked up, all that other kind of fun stuff that we like to talk about with this channel. I am here today with a movie recommendation, not as much a review. I just think everyone should go and see this movie because I fucking loved it. It is so much fun. It is Legend of the Eight Samurai. Yes, this is a Japanese film. Kinji Fukasaku is the director, and it's based on a historical novel, I believe, and this is the Eureka release. I just fucking love this movie. Like, it is so good. It is so fun. And you should all go and see it immediately. So what is this film? It is it's really interesting because it's a film about a real era in Japanese history, the feudal era, right? You had these warring like clans and shogunates, excuse me, and stuff like that, like warlords and everything. And but it takes like that real Japanese history, and that, you know, this was, I think, 1983 this came out. So this was in the era of, like, you had big jidaigeki, which is the Japanese word for like period pieces. Kagemusha was 1980, the Kurosawa film. 1985 was Ron, the Kurosawa film. Fall of Akko Castle, which is also directed by Kinji Fukasaku, was, I think, 1978. Ish, 78, 79. So you had like these big movies coming out at that time, right? And so this movie ties into that, but this movie also ties into the global trend that I think was led by Hollywood of sci-fi and fantasy. And so this is a sword and sorcery movie. In the vein of, like, I get Conan the Barbarian vibes from this. I get Willow vibes. This is much darker and more violent than Willow, but I do get similar kind of vibes. And other films of that nature from that era. It's like a very witchy movie with lots of fantastical elements and like magical people and like evil gods that people are praying to, and like beheadings and like, you know, curses on families and like magical objects and that kind of stuff, right? So which again, like the Star Wars films, ultimately, even though we think of them as science fiction, I've seen them described as sci-fantasy or sci-fi fantasy or whatever that portmanteau is. And I think that's very apt because Return of the Jedi is my favorite of the original trilogy, which I get shit for from people, but whatever. I just love it, and I've loved it since I was a kid. What do you want me to do? There's heavy fantasy elements in Jedi, right? When they're on Tatooine with like a whole Jabba the Hutt thing. That, to me, that's much more fantasy than sci-fi. With like the Rancor, this giant monster, like this ancient pit that they go throw people in the desert. And then like the whole thing with Vader and like the swords and like the kind of witchiness of, like, you know, the Sith and like this evil magical religion, and like even when they're on Endor with the Ewoks and they're living in the trees, like it's very like organic, earthy mysticism to me, which makes me think fantasy more than science fiction, even though you have like fucking spaceships and the Death Star and shit like that, right? And like laser swords and whatever. But this movie has that very kind of like spooky, witchy sword and sorcery vibe, but it's also this epic Chambara jidaigeki like samurai film, right? It's really fucking cool. Sonny Chiba's in it. Hiroyuki Sanada is in it. The cast is phenomenal. The setup of this film is very simple. This clan, this evil kind of army, has taken over this samurai castle. They've killed everyone within it, except for like some of the chambermaids. The one person they're looking for, who is the princess, is not there. And so they have to go on this quest to find this princess. Now, there's this prophecy that if the princess can gather these 8 dog warriors, because they were anointed by this like dog god, it's like this whole complex history, which you'll see if you watch the film. But anyway, there's these 8 warriors who it is prophesied if the princess can gather them all. And it's like predestined that they are these people, right? And there's some really interesting plot twists as to who some of them are, right? If she can gather them all, then it is prophesied that she will lead to the downfall of this evil clan and this evil god that they worship, and she will like liberate the land from their tyranny and stuff like that, right? So and it's just like there's like a literal bloodbath in this movie. Like the witch bathes in blood, and it's fucking awesome. And it's got some serious darkness in it. It's not like a sanitized kind of like American sword and sorcery movie where, like, you know, it's a little bit spooky, but like there's like some pretty dark shit in this movie with like entire towns being wiped out, like children dying, like really kind of dark stuff that actually happened. Right? It's not like a sanitized version of history. The movie looks freaking phenomenal. So this movie is apparently on Tubi. And I've been posting clips from this on Twitter, just trying to get everyone to go and watch it because I loved it. And several people have responded to me that they tried to watch it on Tubi and the quality of it was really bad. And so they actually went out and bought the Blu-ray and they're very happy with it because they thought the Blu-ray, looks phenomenal. So there's like the disc and the booklet there. And I should say that this is region A and region B. So you can watch this in either place. And so here's just kind of the credits. And then you have One Idol, 8 Dogs, and a Rubber Snake by Tom Mez. Oh, and there's like monsters in this movie too, and like some really gory shit. Like there's one scene where someone rips their face off, and there's like this giant centipede inside their body that like shoots out and starts attacking people, and like kind of crazy stuff like that. This is a beautiful scene, by the way. There's actually some really good emotional stuff in this movie too, with like the emotional connections between some of the characters and the tragedies that befall them. And there's it's this scene, like this is kind of an extended scene of all these cherry blossom petals falling and like a sword fight and like tragedy. And it's like this really beautiful, almost like kabuki type of thing in the midst of this chaotic like 80s sword and sorcery movie. It kind of caught me. Oh, here's the bloodbath. Right here. So there you go. I wasn't lying. It is a literal bloodbath. And then to give you some idea of the bonus material that is on here, as I'm sure that some people will be interested in this. So it's a 1080p HD presentation on Blu-ray from a 4K restoration. And like I said, like this movie really looks incredible. I should also say, if you liked Samurai Reincarnation, this is the same director, Kinji Fukasaku, who also directed Hokuriku Proxy War, who directed Message from Space, who directed the Battles Without Honor and Humanity series, who directed fucking Battle Royale, who's just like an absolute legend of Japanese cinema. The Chris Malbon did the artwork here. I do really love this artwork on the slipcase here. Original Japanese stereo and DTS HD MA 5.1 audio options, alternate Japanese dubbed audio track, optional English subtitles, new audio commentary by Japanese cinema expert Joe Hickenbottom. Always looking for the new. New interview with Kinji Fukasaku's son, filmmaker Kenta Fukasaku. The Trials of the Eight Samurai, new video essay by film historian and critic Stuart Galbraith IV. Stuart Galbraith IV to me is like absolutely goated, and the fact that he's doing bonus material now he's done some stuff for Radiance Films, and he's on this too. And I have to say, Radiance is like really, really killing the game for Japanese cinema right now. Like Big Time Gambling Boss, Yakuza Graveyard, Japan Organized Crime Boss. Like these are all like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, like 10 out of 10 movies. Like these are phenomenal films that I will be doing short videos on in the same way that I'm doing this video. That they're putting out such freaking incredible Japanese stuff right now. I'm really like falling deeply back in love with Japanese cinema in a way that I haven't been watching it in years. And, I lived in Japan and I studied Japanese cinema, literature, photography, art, language, culture stuff at university, both in the United States and in Japan. So this is something that like it means a lot to me, like emotionally and nostalgically in terms of, what I spent my, 20s invested in and doing and stuff like that. And so I'm just really excited about Japanese cinema again. But Eureka as well has put out they put out the Samurai Reincarnation, Fall of Akko Castle, both phenomenal films. I will be doing a video on Fall of Akko Castle at some point within the next couple weeks. It's just an incredible movie. The Bodyguard Kiba set, which I watched the first one of those and really enjoyed it. It's a super fun movie. So shout out to these labels putting out these awesome films. But I just highly recommend this movie, Legend of the Eight Samurai. Go check it out. My name is Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society, and we'll see you next time.